relations, try to hit certain people, certain areas. We're going to cover these areas. Some of these areas are churches, schools, hospitals if we can, especially the homes where children be taken. We're also going to even cover about educating our own social workers. These are the people who has masters in social work and they don't even know the laws. First up is churches. As a public relations officer, I try to stay close to my own church, but I also get involved, try to get HCCC, that's the Hawaii Christian Coalition Churches. Sorry, that's the Hawaii Coalition Christian Churches, and inform them. They have over 40 different pastors from over 40 different churches just on the Waianae coast, most of it. Some out in the town side and some even internationally, and some is international. I get involved with them and I let them know what they can do as pastors, what their leaders can do. This is what they can do. Stop praying for them. Don't just pray for them. They need to get involved. They need to know their rights that their congregation has. That's what they need to know. This is why we hold seminars once a year, every second and third Saturdays of July. Unless if it's 4th of July, then we hold the following Saturday. But this is what we do. We invite these churches. We get involved with the churches. We understand that a lot of our leaders, our pastors, our ministers are unable to be here. Open up the invitation to go to their churches, talk to their congregation one-on-one, directly. As a conference, as a seminar, as a pulpit spot. We'll go there. We'll work with the churches. Because we have a lot of our clients are coming to us, and they're coming from a church. Different churches. Hope Chapel, Calvary Chapel. They come from all over. Word of Life, and not just here on the Waianae coast. We need to get these churches involved. Yes, we need to pray for them. We are Christian faith. We need to get the pastors to be more educated on what they need to do. If they can't, they need to know that we are here. We do know there is another church, I think it's called the Child Evangelist Fellowship. They have their own African program here. Very rare churches have their own African program to help parents come and reunite themselves with their children regarding family courts. You need to get into the churches, you need to educate the congregation, because we seem to be noticing that a lot of social workers and cases are coming from churches. We don't know why, but they're just coming from there. Maybe the churches are still sleeping, as it states in the book of Revelation. We need to wake up. The churches need to wake up as quickly as possible. Another area that we need to talk and get into is the schools. Almost a good 80 to 90% of the kids are being taken according to the system are being taken from the schools. Problem is the principals. You have the right. You have the right to say, no, you can't take this child. You are in charge of your kids while they're in their school ground, not the social workers. It is your job as counselors, principals, vice principals, to say, the safety of this child is safe while they're here. It's your job to protect them, not your job to listen to somebody else. You have power while they're in school. And that's why we're trying to come to the schools. Currently holding our seminar this year, 2009, in a school. We are here, Waianae High School, holding our seminar. We need to get more active with the schools. Inform our counselors, inform our principals, inform the health aides. Let them know what they're right and that they need to protect the children. That they cannot let the child go unless there's a warrant to have them be taken over or a court order made. We cannot. So schools is the biggest place where they grab the children. Another section is hospitals. That's another big section that social workers are taking children from, the hospitals. Do you know why? Because the parents are not there. That's why. And most of it, they're infants, they're still young. You tell the parents go home, social worker come behind the back, go and grab them. We need to educate these hospitals. You have to remember, the HIPAA law overrides all Hawaii state revised statutes. It overrides because they're federal entity. The HIPAA law overrides that, and the hospitals have higher power than the social workers. You need to educate these hospitals. Doctors, you need to know this. Nurses, you need to know this. The law states that you have to report when there's abuse, not when there's a bruise. Remember that. If there's an abuse, you need to report it to the police, not the social workers. That's your job. And let the police do their work. They are the reliable people to do the investigation. Social workers are not investigators. They do not have the license to investigate. Yet, our political interface officer states that in the Hawaii Revised Statute, Chapter 587, Section 40, Subsection E, they are called experts. But they're not investigators. Police officers go to school to be criminal justice. They are qualified to know what is a broken of the law and what is considered as only disciplinary. They know what it is better than social workers. They have studied it. This is their specialty, that is their field. Social workers, that's all they are. Social. They speak to you one-on-one and they be able to analyze you. They're not criminal justice experts. One of the best places, home. You think, well, why home? Almost everybody you've talked to, the first thing they say is, yes, it's the law. The social worker comes up to your house and asks to come in, it's the law. We have to let them in. Without that warrant, a police officer can't come into your home. So why should a social worker come into your home? A police officer has more rights to come into your home. With probable cause. Just because, probable cause. The social worker has less rights. And that's another place to take kids because they think they're above the law, social workers. There's a wrong mentality, parents, grandparents, great-grandparents. Just because you didn't do anything wrong, don't let them in. Don't let them in. You have the right to leave them outside. Even if they show up with a police officer, you have the right to refuse them entry without court order. Without a warrant, they cannot enter into your home. They cannot enter into your gates. They can't even come into your house. Know this right. It is not a law. You have every right to refuse those entry. And if anybody forces their way through, that is considered forced entry, and that is a criminal offense. You need to know this. This is why we have seminars. You want to know more? Come and visit us at our meetings. Come and visit us when we have our annual seminar.